Assembling the U.S. General 5-drawer roller cart tool chest from Harbor Freight. William Hovey Smith, 2017. I am the author of Backyard Deer Hunting and also the owner of a new company, Hovey's Knives of China. And here we are putting together a new tool chest for our shop.
This is Hovey Smith with Hovey's Outdoor Adventures. And as you might suppose, we are about to assemble this Harbor Freight General Pro tool chest. Yes. Now this particular chest is available inexpensively from Harbor Freight and oftentimes on promotion. Well, it weighs about 176 pounds. Yeah, that's a little tough for one older guy to horse around. But we got it in the shop okay, and we have proceeded to cut it out of the box with said knife. Not seen a knife like this before? Well, probably you haven't. But we make them, by the way. These are Hovey's Knives of China, and that happens to be my bok choy chopper. But to the business at hand, this is a heavy box. It is not altogether disassembled, thank God. This chest is all together as it is. The way you open it, you find the keys, you open the chest, then there are locking rods that come up here, and then once you do, there is a catch between my legs right here. You push to one side and the drawers will open. Unless the top lid is open, the drawers will not come out, no matter how hard you pull them. So don't do that. Nope. Unlock the chest, open the top, release the locks, press the lever, and then the drawers will pull open quite freely back and forth. And there are parts scattered inside these drawers. Hence, I have cut the box sides away so I can move the chest and get to the drawers and get to the parts. Among them is a box of these here. Now, in my chest, the nuts and bolts had so jammed this all together up that you couldn't open this bottom drawer. It would come part way, you'd see there was a box in there, but you couldn't put it all the way. Solution, you open the drawer above it, pull that out, pull both drawers out together, then you can pull up on the upper drawer and get enough clearance to work that cardboard box out. Otherwise, you'll fight it for quite a while without much success. Now, these are good stout parts, guys. You ain't going to bend these things. So what our progress of work is going to be is we're going to put the base, separate tray for the base, which is not right here, that's now on my workbench, together, put the wheels under it, put the legs on it, put the supports on it, and then put the box on it. And that's the way we'll proceed with the assembly. Our first task here is to affix these. Now they have these carriage bolts underneath which fit pretty well, and they provide you with washers and self-locking nuts to go underneath. Now I'm going to open this bag and just dump it into this sparkly box here, which happened to have the initial H on it. Came from my favorite supply house, the Dempsey Dumpster. And see if we can finger tight these heavy things on here. Although contrary to the directions as shown in the manual, the bolts are inserted underside without the washer. Then the washer put on and the nut attached. So you use one washer, one nut, and one bolt per corner. Then it will cinch up very quickly and that is very firmly attached. You'll also notice that this coaster pivots. You have one pair of coasters that do pivot and another that does not. So you want to make sure that you're pivoting coasters on one end of this tray or the other. The tray's ends are identical, so it doesn't make any difference just as long as they're both on one side. We've finished putting the wheels on. Take a few seconds and make sure before you tighten everything down that these wheels are actually running straight. This can get kicked over one way or the other, and I guarantee you, once you've got this chest loaded full of tools, the last thing you want to do is turn it upside down. So that's a good thing to do. The nuts go to the bottom, the carriage bolt tops go to the top. That's not the way it's shown on the drawing, but that's the way it does best. And you've got your steering wheels mobile here, both on one side, and your trailing wheels on the rear. These posts go in next. Now the drawing calls for them to be attached to the outside like yay with these particular nuts and bolts. Now these nuts and bolts are different. They are the same size, but another little interesting knife, by the way. This is our long-handled slicer. They are equipped with self-locking nuts. To get on the inside of that corner, I had to use a 13mm wrench. The socket set just did not have enough room to work. We now have these columns attached to the base, but something is amiss. A couple of things really. First off, this is just a bent up piece of sheet steel like this, and it's got to have these corner braces for stability. It also must have these braces here to actually straighten out the limbs a little bit. These two in the back are leaning. More significantly, however, is this hole right here. I assumed that these were symmetrical and the hole was in the middle. Not so. They are asymmetrical and the hole needs to go toward the bottom. So I'll remove this leg, reverse it, and put the hole in the right position for the cross braces. No big deal. With these particular nuts and bolts, it comes off and puts back on pretty easily. We have our assembly a little bit further along now. The way to go about this is to loosen all of the supports on these vertical members. Then put on your tray, which is on this side, but leave those connections loose too. Then connect your cross piece. Now there are two cross pieces here, and this longer one rests on top of the shorter one. And that's the way this works. And then once you have everything connected up and it looks good, just leave it like it is right now, because you still have the upper pieces to attach up here, and you want things still a little bit loose right now so you can play with them. We have done something dramatic with our tool chest. In fact, as you recall, we had built the base. Well, the instructions call for two people to pick up the chest itself and slide it inside the base. Well, unfortunately, I'm only one guy, so can't do that. I thought about dragging outside, putting on a winch, and all this kind of good stuff. It is more expeditious since I had the tray and the vertical supports assembled to slide those onto the chest and push the chest up vertically. Now as you see, I have it back towards us. So now I'm going to see if I can tip it forward with a couple of bolts in each leg, just temporarily in, to hold it enough together so I can set it upright. So I know I'll be able to lay it down again this way, without much problem, so we'll get that done. That was just the lid opening, so that's no problem. We tried to set it down fairly gently, and did. Okay? Close the lid. And now we'll see if we can pick it up. And that is going to be a bit of a chore. Alright, so we've got it up. We now have the chest in the frame, but not bolted in. The corner brackets here need to be bolted in, and also everything tightened up good. The thing to make sure is aligned are there two tabs right here that come up like this, that the chest itself must butt against. Not sit on, but butt against. This way, you're sure you've got your chest centered. Now you also check your drawers. First, I have to open the top one, and that frees the locks. Yeah. Those all work fine. This will tighten up here when I put in these screws. And again, turn it and make sure you're resting within these little upturned clips right there, because that indexes your whole chest. By using a combination of sockets and wrenches, I'm able to tighten up these. One thing to remember is that this handle, it goes through this top series of holes right here. So put that bolt in last so you can attach it. I have completed what is officially called the U.S. General 5-drawer industrial roller cart from Harbor Freight. Yep. Got it done by myself. I ate a couple of my good knives here. Yep. And we used a socket set. And it helps actually to have two, one with a longer reach than this, and it was a 1/2 inch. And we also used this wrench here, where we couldn't quite get the sockets. But the unit looks good, rolls well, handles well, has a nice deep drawer here where one could put something like an angle grinder or, well, a skill saw or almost anything. And a deep drawer, shallow drawer, a deep drawer but not so wide, and for the tiny stuff over here, 2 shallow drawers, plus the big drawer up top. So this will hold a lot of tools, guys, and I'm hoping it'll hold what I need. But you know what? Junk expands to fill all available space. So I have no doubt in a year's time, I and anybody else would have this thing full. But now, this is Hovey Smith. reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
This is a close-up view of the large top tray, and another view of more of our knives from Hovey's Knives of China. We make a variety of cooking cutlery designed from ancient Chinese origins. We also make a Billy Joe Rubidoux series out of found steels supplied by the customer. And we also rebuild existing knives out of carbon or stainless steels. Now, 2 people would take about half an hour to put this thing together. It's not that difficult. For more information on Hovey's Knives of China, you can go to the blog below. For more information on my books, blogs, and nearly 600 videos, you can go to www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.